Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hello, I am Kaya. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I know a lot of you watch my videos but don't actually subscribe, so I'd be very grateful if you could subscribe. Now, if you don't know me, then you won't know the fact that I am a big theatre lover. I work in theatre, I perform in theatre, I've done a lot of stuff in theatre. Now, I've also been with a lot of like amateur dramatic groups, and the current group that I am with is called Gatepost Theatre Company, which I am repping today. I have my Don't Make Me Use My Theatre Voice t-shirt on as well because, you know, we love theatre. I am going to rep theatre as much as I possibly can because we love it. So I apologise, but we love theatre, so there we go. Now, a few of you have been asking me to do a Never Have I Ever theatre edition version, so I got a few questions together and have made a list of them, and basically I am just going to answer them. So, the first one. Never have I ever waited at stage door to get photos or autographs. Now, I don't think I have waited for someone to get an autograph or anything like that, but I have waited at stage door because a few of my friends or like family friends or Dom's family friends have been in performances, so we've had to wait for them because we'd be going to like the pub afterwards or something like that. And obviously with performing in theatre and techieing theatre, you wait at stage door quite a bit. So yes I have waited at stage door, but not for an autograph or a photo as far as I'm aware. Never have I ever missed a cue in a performance. Now, I can't even remember whether I had mentioned this in my vlogs before, but when I was performing in The Addams Family, I was playing Wednesday, and I was playing against a guy who was playing my lover effectively, and we were like rehearsing because I think it was like opening night or something like that, and I was quite nervous because I was a 15-year-old playing an 18-year-old, and basically in the show, in the musical, basically Wednesday and Lucas get married, and they get engaged and whatever during the show. So basically it was coming up to the bit where it was like, I think it was the song Crazier Than You? I think it was that song. We were just about to perform that song, and basically it was us two singing against Lucas's mum and dad. So there was another couple involved in that scene as well. And basically we were too busy watching what was going on and too busy trying to rehearse and remember all the lyrics and whatever to actually like go on, so we just completely missed the cue. And again, another thing that happened in Addams Family is basically we had a platform that was like the bedrooms and whatever of the house. And then you had a walkway, and then you went down the stairs onto the actual stage. Now the scene was happening like on the actual stage, and I came from one of the bedrooms and then went down the stairs as I was saying my line, and I just completely didn't go on and just missed my cue, and that was about to go into my song, my main solo, which was Pulled, and I just completely missed it. Basically just because I was so nervous of the fact that this was kind of like my first solo thing, and it was quite a big thing, and it was very nerve-wracking because my voice range has not quite adapted to that song, so I was very nervous about hitting the last note, because it's quite high and it's meant to be sung belted. Now I still can't hit that properly belted, especially at the minute, because obviously I've not really been singing and we've not been rehearsing or anything like that. So yeah, That show was performed with a company called Kaleidoscope Players, who I did a lot with at the time. I am no longer with them because I am now with Gatepost. But again, at the minute we're not performing anything anyway, so yeah, my voice has kind of gone to shit, so that's fun. But anyway, that's my story of missing a cue. The next one is never have I ever played a male role. I actually don't think I have. I'm fairly sure I haven't. The only time that I would have played one is in a panto, and I haven't really done very many pantos, like been in many pantos. So yeah, because I was always doing a different panto, either dressing for it or teching, and was never around to perform in a panto. So yeah, I don't actually think, I'm fairly sure that I haven't played a male role, I think. Never have I ever gotten a part that I thought I wasn't good enough for. Now, this is very true. I don't really think that I've been very good at any of the roles that I've played. Especially the two ones that stick out to me is Wednesday when I was in Adam's Family. That was probably my main one that I didn't think I'd get whatsoever, just because one, I was too young, and also my voice range was just not quite there. And then the other role was Mimi in Acorn Antiques. Now, she was only kind of like, she wasn't a main character, but she was like the step below a main character. And she had a very strong accent. Now, I'm not very good at accents. I just kind of make accents up. So that show was kind of a complete kind of mix match of every accent that you could possibly try and imagine. It was one of the most fun that I've ever done. I loved performing in that show. Again, that was with Kaleidoscope Players. But yeah, it was a very strange role, but I loved it. So yeah, I'm very grateful for the fact that I've been able to perform as main roles. With Gatepost, I haven't gone for a main role, so I haven't got a main role. So it's very different because I like being told what to do in that sense. I like having the ensemble around me and doing the same thing, but I also like to be like a main role because it's quite fun and it's different. But I don't know, it's a bit of a one, you know. Never have I ever cried after closing night. I cry at literally everything. I am a very emotional person, and as I've got older, I've become more and more emotional, and I just cry at everything. Literally, if something's cute, I will start, like, my eyes will start watering and I will just cry. So yeah, every closing night, without fail, I will cry. Even if I'm just a techie, just a follow spot, anything like that, I will cry. And then, as soon as I get on stage, I just cry even more. Like, all the shows that I've been in, I have just absolutely bawled my eyes out and ruined my makeup, and most of the time I've got to get out to do, and then yeah, got a party to go to or something. And not that I've ever been to a party, but here we are. But yeah, I cry every closing night without fail. Never have I ever coughed, sneezed, burped or farted on stage. If you have not done this when you're in a performance, then how? Because I literally, if I get nervous, I start to do all of the above. And yeah, I have done all of the above without fail. Most of the time, I'm in the ensemble, so it doesn't really matter because I'm stepped back. But the few occasions when I do play a main role and I'm at the right front of the stage, sometimes that's not been good. Like when we've been for a crew night on like the Friday night, and then we've got a 2-show day on a Saturday, sometimes that's not very good, so just gonna leave that with you. Never have I ever had a stage kiss. Now, I was meant to have a stage kiss in one performance, well, one show, which was Adam's Family, as we were meant to be getting engaged and getting married. We were meant to kiss after the song Crazier Than You, and it never happened because basically I was too scared and I didn't want to do it with the person who I was playing against, which sounds really, really horrible, but I just wasn't comfortable enough, and because I was only 15 at the time, I just really didn't like feel comfortable with it, because at the time I was 15 and the guy I was playing with was like 21 or something like that, and so I was just a bit like, I know it's a show, I know I'm meant to do it, but I am not no. And I feel really bad, but at the same time I don't, because I think if I'd have done it, I'd have felt very wrong and just very guilty, and it would have just looked so wrong, like visually, and like from the audience perspective, I think it would have just been like, that's not right, you know? Also, please ignore the noises that go off in the background. As you could probably guess by now, we have really stupid ass neighbours that like to just do random shit in the street and just like to like rev their moped as they currently are, or you know, just shout all the time, and the kids in the street just like to throw things which makes noise. So you're gonna get a lot of noise in this video, as the same with any other video that I sit down and film. So I apologise. Never have I ever been seen nearly naked during a quick change. Now, if you've ever been in a show with me, you'll know that I kind of tend to just walk around in my underwear, especially like beginning, like when I've got there and I've got into, because I basically, right, okay, I'm going to explain this because this sounds really wrong. Basically I have my show bra, which is normally just like a nude bra that I either have strapless depending on what I'm wearing in my costume, and then I have like these short things which are basically just massive pants that are just like really high-waisted and come up to where my bra is, and I kind of just tend to walk around in that with like tights on underneath, and sometimes like my character shoes and stuff like that, depending what costume I'm wearing. Now a lot of people don't agree with that, and especially like when I've performed with like older people and stuff like that, they don't really agree with that. But it's just me. I do it all the time. Now I am more like mature and stuff. I'm a bit less likely to do it. I don't really know how I feel at the moment. Like this year, especially because of everything that's gone off, I've become very unconfident in myself. So I don't really know whether I'd do that now, but let's be honest, I probably would. But yeah, most of the time, if I'm sat in my dressing room, I'll be sat in my underwear. I don't like to get my costumes dirty, and that is kind of the main reason why I don't sit there in my costume, because I'm very aware of like and sweating it and like, you know, spilling anything on it or anything like that. I literally leave that to the last minute to get ready. Like that'll be the last thing that I do, apart from like put accessories on and whatever. Yeah, I just feel a bit weird putting a costume on before, so yeah, I'm kind of always nearly seen naked, especially during a quick change, because some things that I've played require things like just wearing a thong and a bra underneath my costume because of how revealing it's been. So yeah, in a quick change, like a lot of the time I'm in my underwear anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah. Never have I ever gotten a call back but didn't get into a show. So this has actually happened once. I went to, it was a completely different company that I was working with at the time, but I was working with them from a techie point of view and I wasn't actually in any of their shows. So I went to an audition and they were like, why are you here? Because you're a techie. Like, okay. So that kind of started it off quite badly anyway. And basically they kind of turned around and was just there like, oh, we want like proper dancers that come from this dance school because when they rehearse it's in a dance school, and I was just a bit like, right. I'm not a dancer. I dance in musicals, but I'm not a dancer. And yeah, and basically they just want like almost semi-professionals to come and be in their shows, and yeah, that didn't happen. Never have I ever voice cracked during a show. As I mentioned earlier, playing Wednesday was difficult, and when I sang the song Pulled, one of the last notes is very high but had to be belted, and one of the nights I actually decided to try and belt said note and cracked my voice, and yeah, he was not good because it kind of cracked my voice and then I couldn't get out of the crack for quite a while, so I ended up talking, like doing my lines and whatever, in a really weird croaky kind of cracked voice, which really wasn't great. Ooh. Never have I ever been in a showman's. I think I have. I was a bit of a flirt back then, you know. Yeah, I must have been. Yeah, I think I was, but only once, really. It wasn't anything too serious. Sounds really bad, and I apologise, but no. Never have I ever been crew for a show. Of course, I have. I have been crew for a lot of shows. So yeah. Never have I ever fallen during a performance. I feel like Wednesday has come up a lot in this video, but a lot of things happened in that show that included the fall that happened. Now, I think it was the last night that it happened, and basically I came from a bedroom, and it was the bows, right? The bows. I came from the bedroom, and I had the guy that was playing Lucas coming from the other side opposite me on the stage, and we literally like ran into the middle and went down the stairs together. At the bottom of the stairs there was like pillars to be the banister bit, and because it was meant to be the bows as the wedding, I was wearing a veil and I had my bouquet in my hand and I was holding hands with this guy, and literally we were like running down the stairs as quickly as possible because we had to get down the stairs in like 8 counts, and I was really uncomfortable because the stairs were like so thin. But anyway, but yeah, basically I was like running down the stairs and my veil got caught because it was like flying back. It got caught on the pillar as I went past it and literally just yanked me back, and I literally just fell straight back onto the stairs, which really freaking hurt, and it really like damaged my back. But yeah, I'm still here. It didn't kill me. Never have I ever missed rehearsal but then lied about why I missed it. Unfortunately, yes, I have, and I feel kind of ashamed to say that. But basically, with Gatepost, when we were rehearsing for Bad Girls, there was one occasion where I'd got work, and I didn't want to say that I'd got work because I wasn't actually enjoying my work, and I'd just basically spent the rehearsal before that saying the fact that I didn't like work and where I was working and whatever. And basically I was just a bit ashamed because everyone kind of turned around and went, oh, you should just leave, kind of thing. And I kind of just felt ashamed. So I think I just blamed it on the fact that I was ill. It wasn't anything too bad, but I don't like to miss rehearsals, but sometimes if I get too anxious or I feel really ill, then I am very aware of that, because I obviously, if I'm ill, I don't want to pass it on to anybody else and I don't want to ruin the show. But sometimes I get really tired and anxious, and like I get more anxious about the fact that I'm tired and then have to drive, and then it's just a massive circle. So sometimes there's been a few occasions where I've said I'm ill, and actually I've just spent the past like hour having a panic attack or something like that, but I'm not going to turn around and be like, by the way. I mean, they kind of do know now, but not really to the extent to what it was, but obviously we're not doing rehearsals in a minute, so it's totally different anyway. Now I'm just more anxious, that's one. Never have I ever seen a show on your own. Now, I kind of have, but kind of haven't, because my mum was working the show and was sat on the right hand side of the balcony, and I was sat on the left hand side of the balcony by myself. And there's been a few occasions where she's been on the right hand side and I've sat like in the very front of the balcony. And I think I have actually sat in the auditorium, like at the bottom, like right next to the stage. by myself during one of the kids' Christmas shows that Bad Blame Vagabonds have done, which they are fabulous and I love. And I think I also did it with Odd Socks, also very fabulous company. So yeah, I definitely seen a show by myself, I must have done. Never have I ever been drunk in a theatre. Now, I have a bit of a story to tell about this because I don't know whether anybody knows apart from the people involved. Now, when would it have been? It was the year that I stayed in Buxton to do a show with Present Company, and basically we went to the pub in between the matinee and the evening performance on a Saturday. So yeah, you can imagine how that went, and I was in the show when we were dancing around, and we were meant to be acting drunk in the show, so it kind of worked well, but we weren't really acting. But yeah, it was quite fun. Like, I wasn't like drunk, and I don't think any of us were drunk, but we were definitely tipsy, and it wasn't necessarily a good thing because we were meant to be playing like maids and stuff, so it was a great time. We had a laugh, and that was the main thing. Never have I ever had your phone go off during a performance. I actually haven't, because this is one of my biggest bugbears, is when people's phones go off in a theatre and like you just sat there like getting into the thing, getting like really enjoying what's happening, wanting to know, and like all of a sudden bing bing, it's like, oh, do you mind? Can you just back off? Cheers. Thank you. Goodbye. No. Never have I ever dyed my hair for a role. I think, if I remember rightly, I was meant to dye my hair black for when I played Wednesday, but then I chickened out because I didn't want black hair because I was obviously very blonde at that time. But I don't think I have, other than that. I dyed my hair out of personal thing, more blonde when I played Princess Elizabeth for Central, when we did Betty Blue Eyes, but that was because I wanted to, because I was very aware that I wasn't that blonde and I wanted to be blonde. But yeah, other than that I don't think I have, which surprises everyone I know because I do my hair a lot, so yeah. Never have I ever played a role with an accent. As I mentioned earlier, when I played Mimi, she had an accent. And to be fair, a lot of the shows that I do are American. So like when we did All Shook Up, that was American, so we're all singing American. A lot of shows are American. So yeah. Never have I ever forgotten a line or lyric. Yes. So my biggest thing was when I was doing a concert, and I was singing one of the sections from I Know It's Today, I think that's what the song's called, from Shrek, and I'm not even kidding, I sang the first line out of my verse and literally just had a complete and utter mind blank and literally just stopped, could not think, could not do anything, had a massive like panic attack on stage but didn't show it. And then the other two girls that were playing, the younger Fiona and the older Fiona, basically had to just sing for me, and I literally was just stood there in absolute like shock horror, like what the hell just happened. And that was the worst thing that I think has ever happened to me, and ever since then I've become so terrified of just messing up like that again, because if that ever happened again, I'm so, like, my memory is so bad, and with like when it's weird because as I've got older it's got worse, so I don't even know what's gonna happen when we go back to rehearsals. I don't know whether I'm gonna remember anything if we end up doing Bad Girls and like go back to doing that and hopefully get a performance space. I literally don't have a clue. But yeah, literally that was the worst day of my life that ever happened. My neighbours over the road are actually just staring at me right now and just wondering why I'm just talking to a camera, so that's fine. So yeah, that's always good. We love that, and they're still staring at me, so that's fun. Yeah. I just want to end my video. Can you please leave? Oh my god, she's gone. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna end the video. So I hope you have enjoyed all of that, getting to know me a little bit more. Hopefully when we get back in theatres I'll be able to do more vlogs and give a bit of a behind the scenes thing. If you haven't already, go and check out all the previous vlogs and videos that I've done, which is show related. There is a whole entire playlist called shows. So yeah, please check that out. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like, please comment, and I shall see you very, very soon for another video or vlog. Bye!